Hey, kindergarten through fourth grade friends. This video is for October week 4. All month long, we're learning the virtue of integrity, choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. And our memory verse for the month, hello. Anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will get caught. Proverbs 10:9. So this week, let me flip this around real fast. We're continuing the story with Daniel and his friends from Daniel chapter 3. No one would have thought differently about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego if they had bowed down to Nebuchadnezzar's statue to escape the fiery furnace. But they decided to obey God even though it might have cost them. God came through and rescued them from the furnace. Because of the integrity these men showed, others were able to see God's power too. So our bottom line for this week, when you do what's right, others can see God. Almost every single day, kids will face a moment when they'll need to think about making some sort of wise choice, from how much effort they give at a project in school, to the way they play at soccer practice, to the way they treat peers they may not always get along with. And as easy as some of these choices might seem to us, kids are thinking about lots of variables like friends and how people might respond to them. So we pray that as kids learn about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they'll realize the importance of doing the right thing, and that if they do what's right, they can help others see what God is like. So this is one of my all-time favorite stories, and I even put in here just one of my favorite verses from Daniel chapter 3, where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of the God that you have set up." So that is amazing. What amazing faith they had, what amazing integrity they showed. And also I put in here, if you guys get a chance, go on YouTube and listen to the song In the Room by Maverick City Music. It talks about this story, and man, it is just such an amazing song that just released. So, sorry, all those were side notes. Jumping into our leader guide, just make sure that you are to your room by 8:20 and 10:20 so that you've got your leader tag printed off, you've got all your materials ready to go. Then kids will start to check in at 8:30 and 10:30. As they come in, they can play with toys or they can do their coloring page, which this week is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and a fourth man in the fire with them. As they're doing that, just make sure, ask them where they go to school, introduce yourself, maybe ask them what they're dressing up for as Halloween, all that good stuff. Then a little intro game that you can play. What you're going to do is ask kids first what they know about race cars. Maybe try to steer the talk to what the cars look like, include how they have logos, their fun colors so they can be seen on the raceway, and how you can tell who drives each car by the way it looks. Then you're going to tell kids that they're going to create a car that tells about them. So you'll give each kiddo one of these pages, just a basic race car. You're going to put out your coloring materials, and you're going to have kids wait to draw until they hear the directions. So first, kids are going to write their name. Then you're going to tell them, you're going to kind of demonstrate along with them as you're doing this. So you're going to have them write their car's number on the front door, and the number should be how old they are. Then you're going to tell kids to color the number depending on their birthday. So January through April, orange, May through August, green, September through December, purple. And then, so they can color their whole door that color maybe. Then have kids draw shapes on the front of their car for their favorite school subject. So have them draw polka dots if they like math, small squares if they like science or social studies, and triangles if they like reading or writing. Then have them put stripes on the back of their car. They'll make brown stripes if they like chocolate candy, and they'll make red stripes if they like fruit-flavored candy. And then finally, they can color the rest of the car with their favorite color. And you can close by saying something like, "Wow, we can tell so much about you by just looking at these cars. Each car gives us so much information about the driver, which is you." This makes me think about how the things we say and do can show people who we are. Well, today we're going to hear a story about a king who saw how amazing God is because some friends made a great choice. So let's go to large group and find out more. So at 8:55 and 10:55, you'll head across the hall to large group. When you get back from large group, you can pass out snacks. And while kids are eating their snack, you can gather them together to pray. So again, make sure kids know your name. Go around the circle. Make sure they know each other's names. You can ask for prayer requests or praises. And then just a challenge to teach kids how to pray this week, go around the circle and have all the kids pray for one kid at a time. So as you go around the circle, you'd say, dear God, please help Trip do what's right so others can see you. And then you'll go around the circle and they'll do that for every kid. And once every kid has been prayed for, you can close down in a group prayer, or you can just say a prayer of your own. Then for the memory verse, make sure you show kids how to look up Proverbs 10:9. They find Proverbs in the table of contents, big 10 for the chapter 10, little 9 for verse 9. Then you can practice the memory motions a few times. Then this is a fun little activity this week. So you're going to give each kid an empty cup. You guys should have those little paper cups in your room for snack. You're going to put a small amount of water in your cup, and you're going to have kids stand in a circle, and you're going to have the kids pretend that the water is hot. And you're going to explain the expression, being in hot water means that you're in trouble or in danger. So you'll say the first word of the verse, and then you'll pour the water from your cup into the cup of the kid standing next to you. And you're going to have the kid whose cup you filled say the next word of the verse, and then they'll pour the hot water from their cup to the next kid. Obviously, we want to tell kids to be careful. The challenge is to not get any water on the floor. And then you'll just keep going until the entire verse has been said. You can do it a couple of times if you'd like to. And then you'll just close by saying, great job. It's so important for us to remember that God will protect us when we make good choices. If we take a crooked path, choosing to do things like lie, cheat, be rude, or even use words that we know we're not supposed to, we'll get caught and we'll be in hot water. So let's try to make choices this week that let others see God in us, because when we do what's right, others can see God. And then finally, for the application activity, you're going to play a game called What If I Do, What If I Don't? So I'm going to put some Velcro tape on your carts. I know our kindergarten room already has some tape down the middle. So if you already have a line of tape, I'm just going to leave that. You're going to have kids stand single file on the tape. And when you say go, kids are going to jump from one side of the line to the other. They can go as fast or as slow as they want. They can go either direction. After a few seconds, you're going to say freeze. And you're going to make sure that kids are on one side of the tape or the other. If they're on the tape, tell them they have to pick a side. And then you're going to read a scenario from the list below, call on a kid from the left side of the tape and say, what might happen next in this scenario if you do show integrity? Let them give an answer. And then call on a kid from the right side and say, what might happen next in this scenario if you don't show integrity? And then after you talk through the scenario, let them hop from side to side again, and then press freeze, say freeze, and do the same thing. So for example, one scenario is you notice your friend's favorite brand new mechanical pencil has fallen off their desk. What could you do to show integrity? What could you do to not show integrity? And then you close down by just talking about, is showing integrity easy? Sometimes it's really hard, right? But we can do the right thing over, and it can be hard to do the right thing over and over again, but that's what Jesus did. And our goal is to live like Jesus so that others can see God when we do the right thing. And then you just close down, if you'd like, a couple discussion questions. When it comes to making the wise choice, what would you say are some of the most important choices kids make? What can you do to make sure that you make those choices well so you can help others see God? And the integrity of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego impacted King Nebuchadnezzar and his whole kingdom. How could you impact those around you this week? So that's it. Also, I forgot to mention kindergarten and first grade. I'm going to leave out an optional craft for you guys. You can have kids color these two things, and then they're just going to glue them to a straw. And I can't do it with one hand, but if you go really fast like this, it looks like they're in the fire. It kind of like becomes one picture. So they can do that in between the palms of their hands. If you guys have extra time and you want to do that craft, I'm going to leave that for you guys. It's not in the notes, but just know that's there if you guys want to do it. So that's it for this week. Thank you guys for serving. You're the most amazing leaders ever. I'm so, so, so grateful for you. Remember, next Sunday is family service, so we have no elementary classrooms next Sunday. So I hope you guys enjoy that week. Come to family service. Enjoy having a week off from serving. I'm so grateful for all of you, and we'll see you on Sunday.